Internet, my name is Lave and I caught another film at London's BFI Film Festival. I watched Bad Education, which is not to be confused with the Jack Whitehall TV comedy series or the Pedro Almodovar 2004 film of the same name, which makes me think that they might change the name of this film before it gets its official release date. But anyway, this one is directed by Cory Finley, who was the director of Thoroughbreds, which was one of my favourite films from last year, so I was really looking forward to this one. Which is based on a true story from 2002 following the superintendent, played by Hugh Jackman, and assistant superintendent, played by Allison, Janney, who were the managers of finances of schools in the Long Island district, which just so happened to be embezzled out of a load of taxpayers' money. And this film shows how it was exposed by one of the school's junior reporters, Rachel, played by Geraldine Viswanathan. So let's start with the cast and Hugh Jackman as the superintendent, Dr. Tassone, who brings bags of charm to the role and character. We find out early on in the film that he's really good at his job. He's extremely well regarded, having brought the school catchment into the number 4 spot in the entire country. He's a bit vain, a bit narcissistic, wearing like the nicest suits, but he's extremely well thought of. I did think as the film started whether Hugh Jackman was the right choice to play this character. Like, I have a certain picture in mind of like school administrators looking a certain way, and with him being like the greatest showman, I thought he was too charming for the role, but it absolutely plays into his character. It just sucks you in. It falls on him to sort out the mess when it is initially revealed that the assistant superintendent, Pam Glucky, played brilliantly once again by Allison, Janney, has racked up a bill of nearly 250 grand on the school expenses. Allison, Janney isn't in the film as much as I was hoping for, but she is good with the screen time that she's given. The chemistry between her and Dr. Tassone is initially really good, but then as the scandal is revealed, Dr. Tassone persuades the board members to let her resign quietly while they try and sweep it all under the rug. And then the film kind of bounces between Dr. Tassone and Rachel, the reporter, who then discovers that the scandal runs much deeper than initially thought. The film does a really good job of explaining exactly what's at stake. It's not just the school's reputation. Everyone on the board members are worried that if it is exposed, then the housing prices in the area are going to drop. Rachel is conflicted. She's worried about going up against her teachers and ruining the chances and prospects of her fellow students and her own reputation. There's some terrific supporting cast members too, like Ray Romano as one of the board members, either too ignorant or too scared to admit what's really happening. Alex Wolff is also in there as the chief editor of the school newspaper, who initially thinks that Rachel is taking her job too seriously. The film covers quite a lot of ground and as a result doesn't feel as focused in on its characters when compared to Thoroughbreds. Maybe that's because there are more characters to explore in this one. Like I said, Allison Janney's character Pam Glucky disappears for pretty much the middle of the film. Rachel's story has a satisfying arc and conclusion to it. I liked the scenes that she had with her dad when he's helping her report and he helps to kind of guide her moral compass. But make no mistake, this is Hugh Jackman's film. I think his performance is the one that everyone's going to be talking about when this one is released. Like when the pressure starts piling on him and all eyes are on him, his professional and charming demeanour begins to crack and he shows his meaner side, and towards the end of the film kind of suggests that his character is a bit remorseful and suggests that he's kind of destroyed his real dream. I should point out that the film is funny as well as being eye-opening. Its humour derives from the situations that the characters find themselves in, like when they start to blackmail each other, and there is a really funny hallway encounter sequence. Aesthetically, it's really solid. It's been filmed on film, so you get the odd blemish and scratch here and there, I guess to make it more of its time, more 2002, and the soundtrack choices are solid too. But as expose films of this type go, I wouldn't say it's as wild or as raucous as, say, The Wolf of Wall Street or last year's Vice, and it's not as fascinating or shocking as films such as Spotlight or The Big Short. In terms of its tone, it's kind of somewhere in between those films. It's good. I would say it's just a solid follow-up to Thoroughbreds, and if I'm being completely honest, I was expecting a bit more. So that's my thoughts on Bad Education, and pause the video if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker now. Overall, it's got great performances, it's a solid story, it's solidly made and directed, and I still think Cory Finley is a director to keep an eye on in the future, but when comparing it to his feature film debut Thoroughbreds, it wasn't as good as I was expecting it to be, but that might change on further viewings. I definitely think you should still watch this one. It's really funny and really eye-opening. But let me know what your thoughts are if you've seen it down in the comments, and as always, thanks very much for watching this review. I really do appreciate it. If you can, give it a like, and don't forget to share the Lave.